Hi, this is Cath back again for another Q&A Tuesday, and today I've got a question that goes, I've hit a plateau and I haven't lost any weight for over a week now. What should I do? So, first of all, I don't know how often you're weighing yourself, but it sounds like it's pretty regularly, maybe every week or even every day. And that's actually one of the downsides to weighing more often. You think you're hitting a plateau when in fact you're not. So a plateau is when you haven't lost weight for 4 weeks in a row. But when you weigh every day and you haven't lost weight for 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, you can start to think that you've hit a plateau. You haven't. You have so much longer to go before it's a real plateau. So first off, I would suggest weighing yourself less often, maybe monthly. And so usually in this situation, nothing's wrong. You're going to continue to lose weight, but your body might just be, focusing on something else right now. And, if you just hold steady with your plan, the weight loss will kick in again at some stage. And, this is just a really natural thing that can happen very often for people when they're trying to lose weight. But seeing as how you've brought up the subject, what do you do if you don't lose weight for 4 weeks or more and you've really hit a plateau? And, I think that Dr. Douglas Lyle explains a plateau really well. He talks about our body reaching an equilibrium with our weight. So an example of the type of equilibrium he's talking about is if you have a boat floating on a calm lake and it's floating with the hull 1 foot under the water. But then if you get into the boat and you lie down nice and still, your weight will push the boat down further in the water, and now the hull is 1.5 feet under the water. And, then you get out of the boat and it goes back to just 1 foot. And if you originally had some rocks in the boat and you take the big rocks out, well, now it might only be 1/2 foot under the water. So in other words, it's going back and forth as to where it sits in the water, dependent upon some change in the forces that are acting on the boat. And now that's exactly what your weight is doing. So your weight is moving up or down towards an equilibrium, and then it'll hit an equilibrium, and so like when you step into the boat and it's actually in disequilibrium for a wee while until it adjusts, and it's kind of bumping up and down until it settles down when you lie down and stay still, and it adjusts to those stable forces and it'll sit solidly at 1.5 feet. So it's a bit the same with your weight. So your weight is essentially a maths problem that involves only 3 variables. One is your genes, the second is your activity levels, and the third is what you put in your mouth. And the most important or influential forces or variables are your genes and the content of your diet. Exercise is a third variable that's not as significant, but it is there. So we could have a woman who's, eating a conventional Kiwi diet, and maybe this person is 40 years old and they're 20 kilograms overweight, and they've tried over the years to lose weight by eating less food and going for a walk each day. And so when they try that, they lose 5 kilograms, but like everyone else, they can't live permanently feeling hungry, and so they get sick of the diet and they go back to eating to satiation, and their weight pops back up again to what it was before. And so they kind of think that sometimes people will think that that's their set point. There is actually no such thing as a set point. What there is an equilibrium that's created by a stable set of variables: diet, exercise, and genes. And because your genes are always stable, the two variables in this equation that can be changed are what you're eating and your activity level. So now let's say that we have this woman who's 20 kilograms overweight, and she starts eating a whole food plant-based diet that she can maintain for the rest of her life without feeling hungry all the time. And so she loses 15 kilograms. And then maybe she calls me up and she says, well, I've hit a plateau. And she's still 5 kilograms overweight and she thinks she's eating perfectly, but she's still 5 kilograms overweight. And so what I might recommend is that she go for a 45-minute walk each day. And then so over the next 3 months she does that and she loses the last 5 kilograms. So this woman genetically couldn't get away with no exercise. She needed a daily walk to get to an optimal weight. And she's kind of hit biological optimum with an appropriate level of exercise for her and an appropriate diet for humans. And so the problem is solved for her. But if this woman had only gone for a 20-minute walk each day, or maybe had done her walk every second day, she might have only dropped another 2.5 kilograms and still been 2.5 kilograms heavier than she wanted to be. So, there's really an infinite number of combinations that might lead to a variety of results or different set points or plateaus. And so you can rest assured that you haven't reached any biological limit, but you have reached an equilibrium for your genetics, your activity level, and your diet. So all you need to do at this point is either clean up the diet a little more or do more exercise, and you will not maintain excess weight. And, maintaining excess weight is really inconsistent with the natural history of our species and in fact the natural history of all species. You are not designed to carry around excess weight. That's a biological impairment. Your genes will help you out of this excess weight trap if you do those healthy lifestyle behaviors well enough and long enough. So if you've really hit a plateau and you haven't lost any weight for over 4 weeks, just go back over the lessons and over your plan and make sure you're doing everything you should. Make sure you haven't missed things that that could be tripping you up, and just kind of tighten the screws a bit. And if you're really stuck, if you can't figure out where to go and what to do, then it may be worthwhile sending me your food diary for a few weeks to see if we can identify an area that you can improve on. So that's my A to your Q. I hope that was helpful. And if you have a question, please email me on cath@seekinghealth.co.nz and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Bye-bye for now.